Hey, what's up guys, Steven here, welcome to our first episode of Future Friday. So today I want to show you some very futuristic product, and this one here is the Catz Rat Pro X. This one here is a gaming mouse, but not the average gaming mouse. This one here is really like, future product. So here it is guys, the Catz Rat Pro X gaming mouse. And it's a fully modular gaming mouse. That means you can completely take this one here apart and you can adjust many things. So basically you can build your own gaming mouse. So this modularity has its price. Now it's $200, actually €200 depending on your country. And this is, I never paid so much for a gaming mouse. But I have to say, after some time, as I've used it right now, I don't want to miss it anymore because it's just great and fits my hand perfectly. So perfect ergonomics. So now I would say, let me quickly show you some of the basic specs, what you can find inside the package, and then let's take it apart. So guys, the mouse comes in a pretty huge box, which you wouldn't expect for just a gaming mouse, but well, there are so many accessories included. If you have a look here at the picture, you can see the mouse consists like out of almost 100 parts or something like that. You can fully take it apart. You even have the opportunity to choose from 3 different scroll wheels. It comes with a tool to take it apart, with a little brush so to clean it. It comes with an extended user manual and even a bag to carry it around. So all the accessories you can find there are almost unlimited possibilities on how to reconfigure your gaming mouse to make it the perfect gaming mouse for you. So my first impression was probably the same like your first impression. Looks pretty stupid and useless. But no, after some time using it, I really don't want to go back anymore. So first time it really felt uncomfortable because I wasn't configuring it the right way. But now I want to show you how to do that and what possibilities you have actually to reconfigure it. So let's get directly started. So there we go, here it is right now. First of all, let me give you a quick idea what you can do with the mouse, so basically what features it has. Now, it's just like a normal mouse, but comes with some additional buttons. First of all, it has a sniper button on the left bumper. Basically, if you press that, it will lower the DPI so much, so actually the speed, that you can really give headshots when sniper rifle mode. Then we have, the forward and back button, as always, like on the most mice. Then here at the top, we have a DPI button, so to switch between different DPI modes. And we have here the scroll wheel, which you can also, put it to the left, to the right. You can press it. Has different functions. Then left mouse button, right mouse button, as always, but also the bottom side is quite interesting. So there we go, here you can see it. And here we have the laser module. And this one here, you can actually take it apart. I'll show it a bit later. You can exchange the modules, and this is probably the craziest thing I've ever seen on a gaming mouse. Okay, then let's have a look here at this cable. And as you can see, it has some pretty nice textile around it, so just like for instance Logitech gaming mice, and it's really robust, so you don't have to be afraid that you will break the cable. That's a pretty good quality. And it features here an USB connector. As you can see, it's gold plated and also pretty solid. Also the tension relief, which you can see here. So the cable is coming basically out here of the mouse. Then here we have that kind of tube, and the cable is really coming straight out of here. And the cable length, it's 1.8 meters, sleeved as you can see. And this prevents damage to the mouse, and it will last a very long time. Okay, so let's take it apart. I will now quickly show you what you can do with it. So basically, let's get started here with that spoiler, which looks like a car spoiler. And this is basically your palm rest, and you can just take it off. So here like this, whoops, we have now detached the part, and you will see that there are a lot of other accessories which you can put on there. But now I want to quickly take it completely apart, and then we're building one together, okay? So there we go, and at the bottom of this gaming mouse we have different slide pads. So these are the Pro slides, and 002, and they have some kind of Teflon pads here on the bottom. Ceramic, ultra low friction, or I guess it's Teflon, maybe, I'm not sure, but this feels pretty good and it's absolutely smooth. So here on the glass, but also on the mouse pad, really smoothest experience ever. The cool thing is that you can exchange them, so if they wear out, or if you just want to exchange them, all you have to do is just pull them off. So basically, they are fixed here with the magnets, so we have a magnet in here and a magnet in there, also here. And this is how to change them, so very easy. Now we're still here at the bottom of the gaming mouse, and here you can see carbon side spoilers. And here we have the module. So this one here, it's a laser module. I can quickly tell you here the specs. So basically 8,200 dots per inch, and the laser module itself, so it's the PixArt ADNS 9800, has a DPI range from 50 up to 8,200, 30G acceleration. The polar rate that can be changed in the software, and the tracking speed is up to 3.8 meters per second. And yeah, also for instance, the switches are pretty good, so up to 20 million clicks. And the gaming, so the weight is actually 110 grams without the cable. So let's take the mouse here apart, so actually the sensor, and let me quickly show you how to do that. So you can basically just detach it here like this. This is how the sensor looks like. So it has here a lot of connectors on the inside, so for the golden pins which you can see in here. Then yeah, so this sensor can be exchanged for an optical sensor, so infrared if you don't like, for instance, the laser sensor, and later I can show you that it has even an integrated display. And what I can do with that, I'll show you that just in a second. So well, that's now the body here of the gaming mouse without the sensor. So in order to take off the side bumpers or the side wings here, you have to unscrew a hexagon screw, which you can see right over here. So it comes with that little tool which was included. Just go in there, unscrew the screw, and then you can take off here the button. So basically the left back and forth button, and this is how it looks without the buttons on the left side. For sure we have the same thing here on the opposite side, so this can also be exchanged for a bigger or smaller one. And yeah, just unscrew the screw here, there we go. And then you can take off here the wing again. So here on the right side we have no buttons. This is actually just for your fingers. And yeah, what we can also do is, for instance, lift up here the mouse wheel, and this one here is pretty cool. So let me zoom in a little bit. So there are two things I want to show you. First of all, you can actually remove the mouse wheel ring. This is pretty easy. All you have to do is just peel it off here in this direction, and as you can see, the ring here comes off. This is made out of aluminum, and yeah, it's a pretty big one. So there's also a smaller one included, and it's, for instance, this one here, which you can exchange, or you can also go, for instance, with a rubber mouse ring. But well, what I actually wanted to show you is that you can adjust the resistance of the mouse wheel. This is pretty cool. You can see here there's a screw, so this is a red screw. You can see there are some springs inside. So basically, if you turn that screw, you will adjust the springs in there, and this adjusts the force which you have to apply to turn the mouse wheel. And now if you turn this in, so if you rotate the screw here to the right, it gets a little bit stronger, and if that is too much for you, you can actually unscrew the screw here, so to the left, and there we go, and you will immediately notice there is less resistance, so the mouse wheel gets easier to rotate. And if you unscrew the screw completely, so almost completely, then that's pretty cool. Then there is no resistance anymore. Then you can actually just spin the mouse wheel like on a Logitech gaming mouse, but not so fast, but still almost no resistance. That's really, really cool. Alright, so we now have adjusted the main things. What you can't adjust, or basically what was not included, is changing the mouse buttons. I wish you could do that in the next release, but yeah, let's wait for it. Alright guys, so we have taken apart the gaming mouse, and now it's time to put it back together, but basically we can now configure it, so we can now build our own gaming mouse. Now let's get started here with the thing on the left side. So basically here we have the buttons. We have here the sniper button, we have here the back button and the forth button, so basically to control things. And here we have the bottom carbon plate here with that, I think it's the Mad Catz logo or something like that. But there are two of those buttons included, so they actually look the same. I'm not really sure if it was meant to be, but yeah, actually the same buttons. Probably if one of them breaks down, you can replace it. And now to get this back in, you just have to make sure you put it here into the correct holes, and then just use the tool which was included, so that hexagon wrench, to screw the screw back in. And there we go, just to the right, and now it's back in place. So now we can choose a different palm rest, so that bottom spoiler. And there you can see the Mad Catz logo, so that one here is pretty basic and feels pretty good. It's like rubberized plastic. It's kind of smooth. Then here we have that one here, which looks a little bit more flashy here with that neon color on the outer frame, but actually almost the same. It's a little bit higher than the other one, and I guess this one here is the lowest one, which I'm not so comfortable with, so I will probably pick this one here, which is a higher one. Okay, then there we go. So as you can see, you can also adjust it here. So basically if you have a bigger hand, you can just move it here a little bit back up to, I guess, 3 steps. And yeah, there we go. Alright, so that size feels quite comfortable for me because as you can see I have really big hands and here the palm rest is pretty good. Now let's go to the opposite side here, and here we have another rest here, so for your right finger. And we have here the smaller one, so this one here, or we have bigger ones here with the Mad Catz logo, and also here, for instance, this one here, which is the biggest one. Actually, I like to have a mouse which is bigger, so I choose here the biggest spoiler, and there we go. So the screw is still in the smaller one, which we have used earlier, but I'm not so comfortable with this one here. Now let's take the screw and let's screw it back in, so with the hexagon wrench, just like we've done on the other side. And there we go. So just make sure you put it into the correct holes, so right over here, and then just use the tool which was included to screw the screws here back in. And now it should be back in place. Okay, before we move to the bottom side, I want to quickly check out here the mouse wheel. And now we have to flip it up again to configure it, and this is how it looks like. So actually, I don't like too much resistance here on the mouse wheel because I'm scrolling a lot through pages, and this is why I will adjust the red screw here a little bit. So a little bit in. Okay, that feels really good. It still ticks a little bit, so I can't completely spin it, but the resistance, so the friction, is very, very low. Okay, now we have the choice between 3 different types of mouse rings. So we have here those 2 aluminum ones, and we have here the rubber one. Now the rubber one feels kind of cheap. I actually like the aluminum ones a little bit more. That is why we'll take the biggest one here. So this is actually what I feel more comfortable with. And all you have to do is just swipe it over there, and now it's here back in place. And as you can see, the mouse wheel is really smooth. Then we can push it back down, and that's it. Mouse wheel is configured. Okay, yeah, you can see here Exoframe. This is something I forgot to mention, and yeah, it's a very good material, feels absolutely premium. And now we can actually turn it around. So we have to get the sensor back in. So there was only one sensor included because it's one of the most expensive parts of the mouse. And what you can see here is the rating 5 volts, 100 milliamps, and yeah, it's as I've told you, an laser engine sensor, 8200 dpi, and to move it back in, first of all you have to snap it in here at the top and then just push it back in. Fits perfectly well in place. Here's a little button, and when we connect the mouse to the computer I can quickly show you what you can do with it. Basically it will show here a number and different profiles, so that's pretty cool. Okay, but that's not everything. So now we need to configure here the bottom slide pads, and there are 2 different types included. So let me quickly show you them. We have here the PTFE low friction. So this one here is, glides pretty good and has very low friction, but we also have the ones you've seen before. We have the ceramic ultra low friction pads. And that one here is even a little bit more smooth. So for instance, if you have a gaming mouse pad, or even here on that table or any other surface, it will just glide over it with the lowest friction ever. And yeah, they feel quite okay, but I feel a little bit better with the PTFE low friction pads. And now to get them back on the gaming mouse, all you have to do is just move them over here, the magnets, and they will just snap in place. So let's do it also right over here, and that's it. So the gaming mouse is actually configured. Also that little brush or whatever here was included to basically clean off dust, because it's already a little bit dirty, because if you eat near the computer or something like that. But yeah, this is now the gaming mouse, which fits my hands really, really good, and I feel comfortable with that. Yeah, as I've told you, the buttons can't be exchanged because the hexagon wrench has here a different form, for instance. You can't get in with the tool, and yeah, probably in the next version you can also exchange the buttons, so if it breaks down. But so far I have to say, looks pretty outstanding. And now let's jump right over to the computer and let's check out the software of the Catz Rat Pro X. Alright guys, so we're now here on the computer, and now let me quickly show you here the software suite. So this is how it looks like. Mad Catz logo at the top. We have 3 main tabs. We have programming, we have settings and support. You can download the software from their official website. The link is down below in the description. And here at the bottom we have the software version and the firmware version, because this mouse also supports firmware updates. So basically under programming you can create different shortcuts due to and configure them to some buttons on your gaming mouse. Like you can almost reconfigure all of the buttons, and that's really, really cool. So here on the left side we have create new profile. So first of all, you maybe want to create a new profile, or you can even download community profiles and import them. So we go here to create a new one. With the right click you can set it as default, or you can reset it, or you can rename or delete it. So I will quickly rename it here to YouTube, and there we go. So here you can now see empty squares, and basically they point to the buttons on the gaming mouse. As you can see, all buttons are reconfigurable except of the left mouse key button, so which is basically always the click button. So what can you do with them? Now here on the right side you will see shortcuts. Basically you can actually just drag and drop something onto the gaming mouse. So let's say you want to use the right mouse button to lower your volume. I mean, it's pretty stupid, but you can do it. So what you have to do is you have to go to apply here, and now you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So basically those are profile store places, so slots. As I've told you before, on the backside of the mouse, the sensor, it has a little display which basically looks like an old calculator display or an LED display. And there you can see the numbers too. So you can switch with the little button on the bottom between the numbers, so between the profiles. So you can save it, for instance, here to slot 3. Just go here to apply. So YouTube should be now in here. And if I switch to profile 3, which I can also do here at the top, so now 3 is activated, I can now click the right mouse button and this lowers my volume. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so you can do a lot of things with that. You can basically open up the Windows 8 advanced menu. You can even have some kind of cheats like mods in games. We have a key, so like you can also spam keys with your mouse button. Yeah, can be useful for some of the games. And here we have favorites, and last but not least we have custom commands which you can also execute from your mouse. So don't want to go too deep into that because there are a lot of possibilities. So here you can see that there are different kind of sensors. So basically we have here the Pixart ADNS 9800. This is the sensor which I'm using right now, but for sure there are also different sensors, like as I've told you, there's the PMW and the PLN. So you will find a description down below in the description what basically types of sensors there are and what they can do, and also on our blog you can see something about the game mouse. First of all, here the mouse response, so the DPI rate, goes here from 50 up to 8200, and here you have 3 states. So if you press the DPI button once, then you have the lowest DPI. Then if you press it again, then you can see the DPI is higher, so my mouse cursor gets moved faster, and for instance 3 will be the fastest one, or here I'm back to 1, so to the lowest one. DPI switch, so you can choose what the cycle button should do. So it could be a DPI button, it could be a precision aim button, so like a sniper button which reduces your DPI, or anything else. DPI up, you can just bind it to any button, so it's pretty cool. We have precision aim, and this is the sniper button on the left side of the gaming mouse. So this lowers the DPI to some level. For instance, if I press it and I have it here to 3000, set to 3000, it will lower or increase the DPI to that value, which is set here to the X and Y axis. Last but not least, poll rates. There are different poll rates, so the faster the better, because it reduces the input lag or something like that. I actually don't really notice a huge difference, even though I'm playing Counter-Strike. But well, it's set to 1 GHz or 1000 Hz, here between 125 and 1 GHz, and basically sending faster the data from the mouse. Angle snap, not really sure what that thing here is doing, but actually haven't used that at all, so kept it all the time on off, but here you can see the explanation for that. Then let's go here to the settings. So this is pretty cool. This is the lift off height. So if you, for instance, move up your mouse like 0.3 millimeters, the sensor will cut off. And for smooth and metallic surfaces, you should have it because they're very even on a very low level. If you're using cloth mats or something with a heavy texture, then you don't want the sensor cuts off if you just lift it a little bit, which you probably have to do because of the not 100% even surface. Then here we have the strafe axis. So if I move now the mouse wheel to the left, as you can see, this also moves here. So this is perfectly nice calibrated and can be recalibrated here. Last but not least, support. So you can download drivers, you can update the firmware, submit a ticket. All you should be able to do if you buy such an expensive mouse. So this is what you can do in the software. Absolutely great. Many features, and I have to say pretty easy to use. So even for the biggest noob gamer, you will definitely find your perfect settings here in the gaming suite. So this was our episode of Future Friday, and honestly I have to say this gaming mouse is great because it has a lot of customization. The only downside is it's super expensive. So For the price of this gaming mouse, you can almost get a graphics card, so it's $200. Also very limited options for lefties, so for left-handed people, but yeah, the customization is just great. The material used, awesome, and the feeling, because you can customize it to your hand, it's just perfect. So also that you can switch the sensors, you can almost replace everything except of the buttons and the strap. But you can repair the strap, yeah, if you're an engineer or if you're familiar with that. Alright guys, then thank you so much for watching this episode of Future Friday. Make sure that you subscribe, that you don't miss any of our next upcoming episodes on Future Friday. And also tell us what you want to see next time in the next Future Friday. Thanks for watching and bye bye.